Guys, the Canes were already a very good squad when free agency opened at noon on yesterday. However, by the end of the afternoon, they became one of the odds-on favorites to win the Stanley Cup next season on the DK Sportsbook. So you can look at a couple of their new additions right here. Carolina used the trade market to push its group of talent to impressive heights here. I mean, Jeff Ulrich and Paul Bruno, I'm glad you guys are here because I have questions for you. Like, first, the Hurricanes feel like a big winner on day one, acquiring Pacioretty and Burns. How do they stack up, Jeff, in the Eastern Conference now? Because they have the fourth best odds to win the Cup on the DK Sportsbook at plus 1,200.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like these moves for Carolina a lot. This is a team that I think when we saw them in the playoffs, that what was missing was the elite top-end talent. Max Pacioretty is a guy who creates a lot of high-danger chances, and he's very good at converting on them. He's just a very elite goal-scoring winger, and maybe he doesn't do as much on the defensive end. Maybe he takes some dumb penalties and does some dumb stuff, but like you look at what Carolina was missing. They had a good defensive system. Their goalies are pretty good. I mean, even without Frederik Andersen, they performed well. This team was missing some elite goal-scoring capabilities. And you got a guy in Brent Burns as well, who he played the most minutes in the NHL last year. He's not going to have to do that on Carolina. He can become a little bit more of a power play specialist, which he's very good at. So this is exactly what Carolina needs. I mean, I like them as a team, but it's hard to be super bullish on them when they're going up against Florida and Tampa Bay with all these elite end stars. I think Pacioretty and Burns gives them a serious shot next year.
I mean, you throw in some of the other signings here, Paul, like if it really feels like the Hurricanes have made some savvy moves here to go all in. Like, it's not just these two guys. They've been pretty busy because that's a meat grinder of a division, we all know.
With regard to these two moves, I have never disagreed with you guys more. I'll say that. Let me start with that. It bears remembering that Burns is 37 years old and has seen his performance dipped pretty consistently over the last 3 years. He had a nice uptick for a while last year that boosted his totals, but well off his career norms. As for Pacioretty, who turns 34 early in the upcoming season, you guys know he's been injury prone for several years now, don't you? We're not talking about the 2018 version of Max Pacioretty. We're talking about the 2022, and it hasn't been very good. He's been dogged for several years by bumps and bruises, can't stay in the lineup. Health trend lines don't generally improve for players in their mid to late 30s. So I think these moves are fraught with high risk, and they paid a lot of money to get them in the lineup. They should have spent the money a little more wisely on younger guys.
I mean,
they did spend a lot of money, but they didn't spend a lot of assets, which is why I don't mind taking the shot. Paul's got a good point about the age, but at least they didn't give up a ton of capital. They basically gave up nothing for Pacioretty.